Welcome to Sacred Stream Radio with Isa Gucciardi. Today, Isa discusses Moon Lodge and the initiatory nature of women's biology.
The expression Moon Lodge refers to the emotional and mental space as well as the physical space that women would retire to in many indigenous cultures at the time of their moon, when they're on their period, or often in many cultures that same place was a birthing place as well. And it's sort of like the place of the woman's mysteries. For instance, in Aboriginal Australia, you have still, even today, very strong definitions and delineations between the places where the men's initiations happen and the places where the women's initiations happen. This idea of a place where women can go and be in consonance with their bodies is something that is common to many indigenous cultures. Now, of course, we have this problem that's been happening on the planet for the last 2,500 years. Women have kind of lost the power that's in the Moon Lodge, and even to the point of the Moon Lodge, or the period of the moon, of course, being unclean, or somehow something needs to be separated from in the women's experience. I just really want to be able to talk about this place of power where women can go to, and which in the current environment is absolutely absent. What I'm trying to do with this class is to reestablish this idea of the Moon Lodge and bring the power of this mystery forward and allow women who would like to understand what their bodies are opening to them in terms of a spiritual path in a new way, where they can come and participate in this mystery that has been part of women's path in the same way that men's biology had been part of their path ever since we started taking these forms. And again, I really don't want to get too bogged down in gender, but there is something about the physical form and the activity of the physical form that has gotten identified as male and female. And so, we're using that as the doorway into understanding what's happening here in terms of what those physical forms might be opening to us on the larger level. My personal perspective all the time in everything that I teach is that this lifetime is really just a series of initiations to help the individual consciousness that is incarnating into a physical form understand the nature of consciousness. And in the human experience, we have this moment where we are able to have a physical form as well as the capacity to understand what that physical form is pointing to. If we just start to understand how our biological form and our biological experience in and of itself is information about what that evolution of consciousness can indicate, and where we as individual constellations of consciousness are within that framework. And it's often our biology that shows us that. And it's unfortunate that we tend to misapprehend the nature of our biology and get caught in all of the crosshairs that the acculturation provides regarding gender roles, and lose the capacity to really look at our biology outside of the framework of male and female. Although here we are sinking in to the female in order to understand this female form. And as beings, we have chosen to incarnate into this female form to understand what our female forms are showing us about where we are in our capacity to evolve. And of course the female form, so the female form is all about change expansion of the self to include the other, the capacity to generate life, the capacity to nurture life, the capacity to move with the cycles of the different planets, particularly the moon, of course, the ability to enter into a dance with the cosmic forces that are around us through the way those forces move through our bodies. And this dance takes us from our own birth into our own puberty, into the sexual encounter with the other, into the experience of the menstruation on a monthly basis. Like, we don't get a break. Guys can kind of hang out in their body and, okay, here I am in my body for a while, not going anywhere. But women are constantly, this is dance that they're always engaged in because their bodies are so in the flow of these cosmic forces. And of course, there's something that men have to learn from the stasis that they engage in. And there's something that we have to learn from this dance with change, bringing us again through our own birth, through our own puberty, through the monthly cycle, through the sexual encounter with other, through the choice to become a mother or not to become a mother, through menopause, where you have this huge force of creativity that takes on another form, and then, of course, through death. And as women, we have all these opportunities, all these initiatory moments that are driven by our biology. We don't need to go do a sun dance to find out what pain is. So it's important to take advantage of this opportunity. This is what an amazing thing to have our actual biology driving us into consciousness. And we have the opportunity to follow our bodies into this consciousness by engaging with this force that moves through us naturally.
Thanks for listening to Sacred Stream Radio, brought to you by the Foundation of the Sacred Stream and Red Cow Records. For more information, please visit us on the web at sacredstream.org.